Hello, hello, my stitchy friends. Welcome back. My name is Laura. You found Lala D Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. It is the 1st of October, and we are just going to dive right into October-y plans. Well, first we'll show you my stitching. It's been almost 2 weeks since we met last for cross stitch update, and that's a pretty quick turnaround for me right now. So yeah, I've touched a handful of projects and given them some stitches, and so yeah, let's just dive right into it. And then after we do that, we'll talk about spooky stitching. So okay, no time wasted today. I have to get my board out. Okay, so first one, I just gave a little bit of work yesterday. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever dived into stitching in less than a minute. Okay. Just a second, my iron is on. Shit. Well, we'll cut that out. Don't want that. Okay. I'm back. It's a beautiful day here in Utah, and yesterday we had the most spectacular rainstorm. I mean, truly legitimate rain for several hours, and it just made my heart so happy. And I tried to keep the windows open as much as I could without, you know, flooding my house. Not really, but and today it is clear and sunny, and you know, I feel a little bit like Winifred, but it's all good. It's all good. So first stitches. I'll forced embroidery 100 owls is a free stitch along, and I am working right in this section here. So it's just the bones of this larger owl. There he is, kind of ghosting out right now, but let's see, let me turn this lamp off here. I thought it might be helpful, but maybe it's going to just overexpose us. There we go. So I'm stitching this on 32 count, picture this plus pewter, yes, which is gorgeous. It's just the loveliest brown green. It's not going to show very well. It's fine. Greens are notoriously difficult. But she's beautiful, and I'm picking floss as I go, so there are a lot of different colors. Yep. So not much, but he'll be really cool, I think, once he's done. Right now he looks more bug-like than owl-like, but I mean, what you gonna do? Let's see, where should we put these once I'm done showing them? Maybe over here. If I move this and scoot my pumpkins over, are these cute pumpkins? Then I can set them on the desk. There we go, that works. Okay, so the next one is Charlotte Griffith. Whoa, by Little Robin Designs. I always say a word wrong. It never fails. And I started this last September. My hope was the phrase, the little banner beneath it, and then working more on the border. And I got the phrase done and started the little banner beneath it. But that's still good progress. That's still good progress. This phrase is so funky because, so the original stitcher was an 8-year-old little Charlotte, and partway through words, she would go up two fibers, so up a stitch. Where is it? There's 2 lines that she did that. Oh, here in show. So it's show. and another does it too. Anyways, it's cute. I didn't realize that hadn't even noticed that until, oh my goodness, that T. I need to finish it. Okay, the phrase is done, but for those 4 stitches, it's fine. I'm stitching this on 32 count Bestitch Me Mocha 2/2 with the called for floss. This fabric is gorgeous. Oh, I realized I dived in maybe a little too fast. My brain is just in hyperactive mode, I think. Hyperactive, hyperdrive. So let me set this over here. I finished my quilt. It became a bit of an obsession. I just got this wild hair. I was like, what if I had that hanging on the wall for my video in 2 days? So my sister came over and helped me pin it, which was a surprise. It was a bit of an impromptu moment. I didn't even ask her to come help with that, but it just wound up happening, and that was great. And she saved the day with helping me hodgepodge some batting together, Frankenstein style. And then I quilted it with the idea of, like, it was a hard one. So first of all, I am working on my Bernina 350, which has like a 5-inch neck, so space between the needle and the body of the machine. And this is such a side note, but if you'd watched my quilting video, you'll recognize it. Anyways, the middle was a pain in the patootie because there's just not a lot of space to move once you get the bulk of a quilt in there. And I actually wound up unrolling it to be able to manipulate that mass a little bit, and that helped. Anyways, it was a hard one to decide on a design for. I knew I wanted to go all over because that's just mostly what I do, and I was a little overwhelmed by trying to think of custom designs for each block. It just felt like a lot right now. So I went all over, and the idea was spooky smoke. So we've got some swirls, we've got some wanders, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy with it, and I love how it turned out. And it's on my wall, so yay! And then I also changed out my little gallery over here. So my Halloween fairy, which I showed when I framed her a few months ago up close. And I guess I could show, you're going to see my whole outfit here. This is my little October 31st, which came from a Blackbird Designs book, Autumn something. I'll show it in a minute. It's in our stack for another project. But I just painted, with basic paint, this little frame that I found at the thrift store, and it's perfect. So thrilled to have that done. And then the other thing I framed just this morning is this guy. And he was a bit of a challenge because he has the frame. That's the natural place to want to use to center it, but the stitching actually comes, like the tree, I love it when artists do this. The tree breaks the frame. So I used more of the tree roots to sort of center it than I did the frame itself. So anyways, this is a Judith Kirby house number 9, I think. And I finished this last year. So if you go to last October's videos, you can see all the deets on it. But I love it. And it's so exciting. Last year I'd finished 4 cross stitches. Nope. Yep. Okay. Sorry, hanging difficulties here. Anyways, last year I finished 4 of my Halloween cross stitches, which was huge. I think a lot of them had just come close to the point of being finished, and so they got the attention. Anyways, that left holes, which you will see filled this year. But it's really exciting to have things on the wall, and this is the first year I've really decorated my studio space, which is where I spend most of my day when I have free time. So I don't know why I hadn't decorated it seasonally before, but anyways, I now have some finished things, and it feels so cozy in here, you guys. I just love it. I just love it. Anyways, okay, side note done. Back to the stitching. So I got some more progress on Into Dreamland. Here, we'll not backlight it here. I also have my windows open, so hopefully loud noises don't translate in the speakers. The only thing that will interrupt if they fly, because they've been flying a lot these days, are the jets from the Air Force Base. But anyways, Into Dreamland Letty Stitch kit, which is gorgeous. I do believe I have a before picture, so I'll pop that up if I have it. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. Anyways, here is where I am now. So I kept working on this section right here. So I've added a lot of this darker stuff, a secondary color. It was just a little bit lighter in the caramel range, and you can see I'm still going. I worked on this. I've been pulling it out on Sundays, and this last week I love musicals, you know, Rodgers and Hammerstein and stuff like that. And but I don't watch a lot of them because my husband, he doesn't mind them, but he doesn't find them as captivating as I do. And he always falls asleep. Anyways, so I don't watch a lot of them, which is silly because I love them, and I've just decided that when I pull out my stitching on Sundays, I will work on this and watch one musical, and at least for a few weeks, we'll see how that goes, and it'll be really enjoyable. Anyways, I watched South Pacific, and I totally cried, and it's fine. Okay. Those movies hit different as an adult than they did when I was younger, right? They've got some serious themes under the somewhat corny and delightful music. Anyways, and especially in South Pacific, the lighting changes. Oh my gosh, can we just talk about how they were playing with Technicolor? So Gaia, the Earth Goddess by Bella Filipina. She's gorgeous. And I started her a few years ago. I don't know where my little note tag is. It's probably somewhere in here. This is her bag. Oh, sorry for the zipper. Did that without thinking. I thought I'd pulled all of these out. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I started her a few years ago, a couple years ago, some amount of time ago. But I've not been on a big fancy lady kick this year. In fact, I've kind of avoided them in general. Nothing against fancy ladies. I love a good fancy lady, but I feel my fancy lady bug coming back. So, yeah, that's pretty fun. So I pulled her out. She's on Fortnite Fabrics Mind Blowing. It's a 32 count, and I'm stitching 2/2. And I decided, I had been working down, but I decided I needed to go a different direction just to kind of get some more excitement. So I filled in the white through the middle of her skirt, which did a lot for making it actually start to look like something. And then I brought her shoulder up, gave her the beginnings of her Krynic waistline, her fancy gold waist, and then you can see the beginning of her bodice here. So starting to become a little bit more than a blob, which is great. And this fabric is stunning, and I have chosen the deeper end down at the ground because she's sitting kind of in this puddle of color, like earthy color, purpley earthy color, and so I thought that was appropriate. And then up top, the fabric is a little, it's not still by any means, but it's a little calmer, a little less dynamic as far as the purple overdye comes in. And that's where her wings, her glorious, she has these glorious branchy wings. Get the glare out. And so that is where, you know, her wings will sit up in this calmer area and they'll show a lot better. So, I love her. And I think I'm going to keep working up just because that's motivating right now. So, she's gorgeous. I love her so much. And I think she's going to be stunning. She's going to be stunning. She is stunning already, but... am I going too fast? I feel like I'm like a hummingbird over here. Oh well, it is what it is. So, you know what's going to come from this, just cross stitch. I'm working on Nature's Journey, and this is the current segment. And I am so excited about that ladybug. And frankly, even this circle of mushrooms is so cute. Love it. I'll show you where I am. Okay. So this is a 32 count linen that I over dyed. And we're still working on what the combination of dyes was. But this week I did this section of time, I did this big bloom and then started into that. And then I added my dark accents into the chrysalis there. Oh, my nose is itchy. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. And I'm so excited to break down into the autumn section. So that's what I've decided I'm just going to embrace. And I'm going to work down this far left or this far side. It depends on which way you're looking at it. So that I can go this kind of tulip, I'll go into the sunflower, and we'll just kind of work through the design that way. And I'll also bring this center branchy structure into that section as well. And what that's going to do for me is make it so that even if, I mean, I'm going to try to keep up or catch up rather. But if I don't, then I have the structures in place to carry into the winter section when that comes. And then I can just work on finishing in any holes that remain, you know, through winter and spring. We'll just see how it goes. We'll just see how it goes with some more holiday themed stitching. And I do have a couple secret stitches going. We'll just see how time gets allocated, right? Anyways, but that's my plan, to kind of build those structures. Plus, those are some of the fun elements anyways. So, it's beautiful. I love working on this. I did give it some of my morning stitching until I decided to give my morning stitching, which is back randomly. I had been really good about morning stitching earlier this year, and then I wasn't morning stitching, and which is fine, but apparently it's back. I'm giving like half an hour to 45 minutes while I just sip my coffee, and I just turn on some kind of something, music or YouTube or something, and stitch, and then I go get dressed. Anyways, but I've been doing wool applique because I have some grandiose ideas about what I can accomplish in the next 2 months. So, but I mean, I quilted this in 3 days, so, well, 2 days, because I pinned it one day. I assembled the backing, assembled the batting, pinned it, and then the next day I quilted it. So, you know, anything is possible with enough stubbornness. Oh, here comes some planes. It's gonna get loud for a second. Unless they fly that direction, but it sounds like they're coming our way. Oh, that wasn't a bad one. They've been flying so low lately, and the planes don't bother me when they're high like that, but when they fly low, like it feels like they're buzzing the tower, rather my house, I get really frustrated with it, honestly. It's very disruptive. It scares my dog, and it's killer on my head. So anyways, there's my little complaint. It's fine. It is what it is. It might not be too bad. Next one was a new start because I couldn't wait. I was thinking I might save it for October because it's spooky Garden of Shadows vibes, but rather I started it because I couldn't wait, and we'll just keep adding a few stitches here and there through October. Anyways, Garden of Shadows by Sprouting Lupine. I love it. It's one of her new releases. I dyed a piece of fabric for it, and here's my start. Ah! I'm so excited. It looks so good. How can I get the lighting good? So I'm stitching it 2/2 at the called for DMCs, and I am just thrilled with how everything's showing up. I knew I wanted something dark and moody as far as fabric went, but the black needed to show up because that's the body of the unicorn and the tree. So the black had to show, and I tell you, I was thrilled with how I started in this corner, and I was thrilled with how those were looking, but I was like, okay. We need that black to show. Let's get that lantern in there. And as soon as I got the lantern in, I was like, oh, this whole thing's just going to be magic. It's going to be so good. So, victory! I love it. The colors are so good. They're so vibrant. And we're going to get some of these blues and other colors in there. I mean, it's just going to be so good. The more I add, the more I love it. And I always get excited when a project goes that way, because sometimes it takes a while for the magic to happen. And other times the magic just happens right off, so we got lucky on that one. My other new start... Oh. See, I am all over the place. This is what happens when I don't have notes. I am normally really good about making notes and making notes and following them. And this time I was like, I'm just gonna do a video, woohoo! And yeah, there are no notes, so I keep neglecting things and coming back to them at weird times. I want to say a big thank you here in the middle. There were 2 people who used the Buy Me a Coffee button that I always link on my videos, and they both had really nice little notes on them, but one of them said, go get your flosses for your autumn projects. And so thank you to both who donated, because I went out and had a fun little stop at my L&S, and I got the flosses that I needed for my autumn in, and then also for my Quaker Snippets, which is so cute. This is Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread pattern. I think it's relatively recent. A new one. I'm pretty confident it's new this year, if not in the last couple of months. So it's so pretty, and I'm so excited to have been working on it. And it's actually been a really big comfort stitch for me the last couple of weeks. I've been working on it in the evenings, and this is on Antique Lamb's Wool linen, a 32 count. I'm stitching 2/2. I have a little grue blah blah right here, and I'm trying to figure out where I can, or rather if I can fix it without pulling out most of that Quaker shape. So I did one too many stitches here. I added a row on my leaf, and then I don't know, it all fit, but it's like my brain magicked the math without me even thinking about it. I don't know how I did that. We'll see. Maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe I'll just leave it. I don't know. It's harder to fudge things, and I can be the queen of fudge, but it's more difficult for me to fudge things when things are symmetrical. I notice it more. So anyways, we're continuing on, we're persevering, but we're also thinking about it. Anyways, it's so pretty. The colors are lovely. And this is the whole length of it, and this is the far edge. So, you know, it's not big. It's such a satisfying, quick little comfort stitch. So, pretty colors. Anyway, so thank you again. I was really excited to start that, and I have my, I don't remember the actual name of it, but the inn. Thankful Inn, or Autumn Inn, or Gathering Inn. See, find enough autumn words, Thanksgiving words, and I'll find it eventually. Anyways, I have all kitted up, and I'm going to start it on November 1st, so that's very exciting. Something to look forward to. Winds of Autumn. So this is the book that October 31st came out of, and I want to stitch everything in this book. There isn't a pattern I don't love in here, which is fabulous. I gave a little bit more work to Spell of the Moon, and it's so cute. Last year, I'll see if I have a before picture. I'm not sure. If I do have before pictures of any of these whips, I'll pop them in. But I mean, it's just hit and miss these days. It's just hit and miss. So I beg your forgiveness. Anyways, I had the tree done and like the outline of the owl when I picked this up, and it was a pretty random thing. I don't know what made me want to work on it. The owl, seeing other people work on it, I just came across it as I was working on my plans. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but here I am. Here it sits. Oh, he's so cute. So I added all of the borders and this flower pot, and then I got the first of the glowing moon, which really glows right now. I'm sure it will tone down a little bit once we get the secondary. There's like a taupey gray that goes into the body of the owl, and then it's also in the windows of the haunted house here. But we're getting really close on this. The moon would just be fill-in stitching, which is really nice to get to that point. And then the haunted house, I mean, it's just, there's not much left. Fun little project. It's always, little projects are so fun. I often am drawn to the massive, you know, epic stitches, and so I have a lot of those. And I love them. That's why I start them. But they take time, especially where I'm not monogamous stitcher, and then you add a seasonal stitcher on top of it. Those big projects, you know, they'll be with me for decades. It's fine. We love them. That's why we're stitching them. But these little ones are such good little palette cleansers. It's like, oh yeah, I can actually do things. And I'm not the slowest stitcher in the land. I'm just a diversified stitcher. This is on Murky, which is the called for fabric, I think. Maybe it's not. No, it's not. There's no way that's Murky in the picture. Let me pull out the pattern here. Oh, I can keep this where you can see it. I'm like holding it, but awkwardly low. Cute. Let's see. The called for is tin roof linen. I'm stitching this on Murky. They just happened to have a little scrap of it at my LNS last year for like $5. I was like, yep, I'll find something for that. And then this was perfect. Moody. Dramatic. Anyways. Very fun. Oh, I am using different colors though. I didn't have Harvest Moon, which is the moon color. So I'm using Honeycomb, which doesn't have the variation that it looks like Harvest Moon does. But there's no guarantee that a current dye lot of Harvest Moon would have that variegation. So I just went with what I have in stash. So I have Honeycomb, and then I am using the black coffee for the black elements. And then I don't know if I have Pelican Gray or not, which is the other called for, but if I don't, I'll just pull something I have. So it'll be great. I haven't pulled it yet because I haven't needed it. I was kind of going for color completion, and then I decided I wanted to get the outline of the moon in there. So, you know, a little spontaneous. Okay, next one. I pulled this out on the autumn equinox, so the 22nd, and it was my stitch for that day. I didn't work on anything else. Autumn is as Joyful by Lilas Studio. There's a stitch along going for this that Samantha, the Huga Stitcher, is hosting. And I have changed my center phrase, which if you go into my community board on my YouTube channel, you can have access to. And if you want it, you don't have to. I just wanted it to be known where it is if there's interest. So yeah, I added our squirrel and the 4 leaves into the acorn and the heart. And I think my next step would probably be, what did I decide? I'll probably get the second squirrel in, maybe start working in the top of the acorn. But then I wanted to get into, since it is, if I was going to keep working on this through October, there is a cute little witch's hat. So I might throw that in there and do some of the little motifs like right there. And that would open up a real good segue into going into the turkey potentially for Thanksgiving. Though it's kind of one of my favorite sections, so it might make sense to save the best for last. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I could go anywhere because I started in the middle, so I just have to count out from the acorn. So it would make some sense to keep going on the town and side, but I don't know. It's not very spooky. I'm stitching this on 36 count Dunes by Fiber on a Whim. That's gorgeous. It's showing pretty well. There's a little green dye in that warm golden. It's really cool fabric. Oh, and my phrase says, I'm sure you've read it already, but if you're stitching and not looking up, my phrase says, what does it say? If a year was tucked inside a clock, then autumn would be the magic hour. Yeah. That's not something I made up. It's a quote from somewhere. I just charted it. Okay, so that's everything I stitched on. It's quite a lot, actually, now that I have it in front of me. It was pretty consistent this time. Felt good. Now we'll dive into just a little bit of October stitching. So spooky October stitching. My theme this year, I went through all of my whips. I didn't have as many as I thought I did. I have most of them here, in fact. But I decided that my theme would be haunted houses. So I pulled out my whips that I wanted to work on that have some kind of haunted house featured. So the first one is a probably won't work on it, to be honest. This is one I've just been waiting for the right moment, and I really am of the mindset that I will make the make the bones first, so stitch all the boxes and then do the fill in, and I have one box stitched. Ooh. Ah. But it's microscopic. I'm stitching it on a 40 count, which for me is very small, especially with the way my brain has been behaving for the last year or so. So this is Halloween, a Hawk Run Hollow. We know her, we love her. I am doing my own version where I have arts and crafted the 2 Halloween blocks from Autumn at Hawk Run Hollow into this one. So this will be my layout, and then I moved a couple blocks around too, so that it's all my favorites. So this is my layout when I get to the body of the stitching. And the first block has a haunted house, so if I felt so inclined and brave and good brain day, I could dive into that. But for now, my thoughts are, if I worked on this, I would just keep going on bones. So, and this is not showing, this fabric is a little more green than it's showing, which gives it a great kind of eerie, yeah, you know, green and cameras. Anyways, 40 count, something. 40 count, tin roof. Speaking of tin roof. Anyways, one beautiful square, which is like 400 stitches to be fair, but because those boxes are not, these projects are not for the faint of heart. All of the Carriage House samplings have way more stitching than it looks like, and this one looks like it has a lot, but it's got more than a lot. It has a lot. Okay, so that's my first haunted house, probably just bones. My second one is one, you've probably seen this one everywhere. It's very popular. It had like a kick last year. I started mine in 2017. And I intentionally didn't pull it out last year because I felt like, I don't know, Flosstube was oversaturated with it perhaps. But I love the chart. It's gorgeous. Plum Street Samplers, Jack's Bash. My chart got stuck to my vinyl front bag, which is when I learned you have to keep your charts in their own little baggies if you have vinyl front bags, and then they're great. They don't stick to that, but so it has a bit of a sheen to it. Anyways, I'm stitching this on, I'm guessing a 36 count Lakeside linen of some kind, just from looking at it. But I started this, like I said, in 2017. I literally remember where I was when I started it, sitting in the parking lot, waiting to go to work. That's where I am. She's beautiful. But I didn't track things back then. I started my Flosstube 3 years ago, and 3 years. I think we just reached 3 years in August. I just didn't do much of I didn't make a big deal of it this year. Life has been too weird. Anyways, so I'm stitching it 1/2, and like I said, I think this is a 36 count, but I don't have any information on it, so it's all guesswork. But there is a whole little haunted village up at the top here, so it fits the category. So if I wanted to work on it, I could do that. And 36 count isn't that bad. As long as my head is decent, I can stitch 36 count. 32 is my sweet spot. But I have no... I stitch on everything. That's the way to say it. I stitch on everything. Linen, even weave, Ada, big counts, small counts. Let It Grow by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I started this, was it in August I started it, you guys? You tell me. I should have a note somewhere. But I'm doing a color conversion to overdyes. And I'm working on 32 count tumbleweed linen. and she does not photograph well. But trust me, she's gorgeous. Somebody mentioned last time I showed her she has big Barbara Anna vibes. That's probably why I love it so much, because I love Barbara Anna. She has such whimsy. And anyways, this is not showing well. Drat. But the colors are stunning, and they do not wash out as much as it looks like it does. We're just gonna, okay, hold it still and you can just see it, what it is. It's so good. And I'm really excited to get into those pumpkins and add those really hot colors, so I think it'll just bring it to life. Anyways, seems like a stretch, but there's windows. That boot there is a house, so. And there are bats. It's gotta be a haunted house, right? I think so. This one lives in this adorable bag that was gifted to me. It's so cute. And it's perfect for a haunted boot house. Okay, so that one, that'll be another fun, tiny little palette cleanser stitching. Doesn't take a lot of thinking, just fun, happy stitching. This one, I've been trying to think of how to show this to you. It might be easiest just to pop in a picture, but I don't know, because I have a digital copy, so I didn't print off the whole picture. So this, I'll pop in a real picture if I can make that happen. Anyways, but if I can't, or choose not to, here's a blurry, glary, tiny little picture of Black Cat Hollow by Barbara Anna. It's so good. I did not work on this last year, but it's full of haunted houses. And I'm stitching this on some kind of gray. Da, 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 da. Cute. I seem to recall I had counting issues, and I'm fairly sure that those are resolved, but you know, we'll find out. So fun. I don't even have the oranges in there yet. It's gonna be darling. But it's a whole little village of haunted houses, so it's perfect. This one's definitely getting love. I'm excited to work on that again. See, sometimes they just have to hibernate for a year, and then the enthusiasm is fresh. Oh, and that one lives in this floppy little bag. I like to make my vinyl front bags with Soft and Stable, which is like a foam stabilizer. It's fabulous. But I didn't have any, and I really wanted to make a bag out of this adorable little fabric. It's so cute. She's so sassy. Anyways, I didn't have any, so I used batting, and this is what you get when you use batting. A perfectly functional but very floppy bag. So, you know, now I know. The more you know. Okay. Are we on the last one? Yes, this is the last width that has a haunted house. So, Halloween Quaker. I love her. Definitely a little haunted village there. Ugh, sorry for the glare. I am stitching this on a 14 count Aida that I dyed to be spooky dooky. Here is where I sit. She's so good. Oh my gosh, getting those golds and oranges, I tell you, the hot colors make everything else pop. I love it. So if I don't think there's any way, honestly, without like an obsessive level of stitching, which I have been known to do, but I'm not sure there's any way I could actually get to the haunted village. I mean, I could stitch Happy Halloween and just work down, but that's boring. It would be way more fun to fill in the Quakers either this way and go that way. I know that everybody talks about how big this Quaker is, though. So probably this way and work over that way would be my best plan of attack. Just fill in that bottom row. That could work. That could work. It'd be so fun to get that ghost in there. And I love the skeletons. They're kind of dancing, dapper skeletons. So much fun. Anyways, I'm doing this with the called for colors. Love her. I don't know why I'm saying that. It's fine. And she lives in this bag, which has been my go-to style bag recently. It's so cute. And it has pumpkins inside. Oh, darling. And you can fit big projects in those too. It's great. Okay, then I have 4 starts planned. Wait, where's the pattern for that? Okay, well, we'll show you anyways. So the first one is Halloween Tiny Town, which I have pulled. Oh, that's not going to be a good way to show that because pattern. I'm doing my own little conversion just because I can, and and I'm just working from stash as much as I can. So that's what's keeping me starting new things, new fun things. This pattern was sent to me by Sarah, so thank you again, Sarah. And I'm so excited to start it. I'm going to give it a little Laura twist, and I'm going to throw some purple in there because I like purple with Halloween. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be so fun. And I might start that today. That could be fun. But little haunted town, right? So that fits the what do they call it? The brief. Yes, it fits the brief. So that's my first new start. And maybe I'll just do one every Monday. Or what is today? Tuesday, Wednesday. Whatever day today is. One a week. Maybe I'll just start one of my haunted houses a week. The next one, I wanted to start this one last year so bad, but I didn't have anything but the pattern. This is Spooky Mansion by Quaint Rose Needle Arts. It is so cute. And while I love the fabric that they used, it's like Grandpa's shirt or something like that. Grandpa's sleeve. I was close. It's got those great speckles. But I didn't have that. I do have, I think this is a Bestitch Me fabric. I'll have to figure that out. I'm fairly sure this was one of the last ones I got while I was part of the Bestitch Me Club. And you're not going to be able to see it, but it has hints of purple in it. It's so good. And then I've been collecting the flosses over the last year. And blah. Cute. Anyways, it's gonna be so cute. Ah! So I throw things everywhere. Come back. I need to make a floss card, so that doesn't happen. Anyways, I love it. I love the bats are so different than normal. I love that the plants are bigger than the house. And this little turkey raven whatsy dude is spectacular. He's so good. And it even has an owl. I mean, all the good things. So cute. It's so cute. So I'm very excited to start that. And maybe that'll be next week's start. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, you have thoughts? This is the bag it lives in, or both of those, I guess, live in. Very fun. I make my bags unless they're given to me. Okay, this is the one I don't have my pattern. It's hiding somewhere, but I'll pop in a picture because I know I can find one. It's brand new from Market. My hair is so frizzy today. Don't mind me. It's called Wilding Hill Manor. It is beautiful. I love the lake monster, and I mean, I just love everything about it. It's so good. It's so good. Anyways, I dyed a piece of fabric for it, which is really pretty. Just trust me. Yeah, it just doesn't want to play nice. It's fine. Oh, that's sort of dark but better-ish. Anyways, but here are some of the Moody called for colors. I don't think that's all of them, but it's a good portion of them. Enough to get started. Ooh. I love it. That one's going to be really fun. I really kind of want to start down at the lake monster. We'll see. Excuse me. And last but not least, I've had this one for a couple of years. I want to stitch it for my husband because he's a big Stephen King fan. The Witchy Stitchers Stephen King house. Doesn't get much more haunted than that. And yeah, I've had this kitted up for several years, and I've even intended to start it a couple of times and never pulled the trigger. Because it's a big project, especially that roof is dense. It's dense. And if I could get this finished for him by next Christmas, that would be really fun. But if it was 2 Christmases out, that would be okay too. But this is my fabric. It's Fiber on a Whim Cypress, which is green. But, whoa. Yeah, I think it'll be really good. And I would like to get a start on it. So this seemed like the right theme at the right time. And we'll see how it goes. I do have a rough schedule plotted out. If I were to keep up with it, it could happen. That's so organized for a pirate, though. So, I don't know. We'll see. This is its bag. It's cute. I love this fabric. Okay. That's what I have. That's my plan. So, to work on my haunted stitches, I think I'm going to keep, unlike years past where I go exclusively Halloween, I think I might still stitch a couple of my autumn projects, because I think November, which I would normally keep pretty exclusively autumn, I will do autumn with a trickle of Christmas, because 4 weeks of Christmas stitching is not enough for my brain and its goals. My eyes are bigger than my stomach in my Christmas stitching. So, plus I think it'll just be fun. I already want to stitch on all the things. So, and I'm going to start a few Santas, which will be really funny. Funny? It is funny, because I don't need to start more Santas, but I want to start more Santas, and I can, so I will. Anyways, so yeah, I think I'll keep some autumn incorporated with the spooky stitching. You okay, Grace? Our sweet girl is having a hard time. Yeah, you're a good dog. Anyways, derailed. Keep some autumn through October, as well as my haunted houses, and then I'll have autumn and Christmas in November. Anyways, you'll see it. I'll be back. I'll probably recap all of my spooky stitching at the end of this month, rather than trying to do a video in 2 weeks. I'll just wait till right around Halloween, and that way when we move into November, it's, we're not, I don't know why. why. Just because I can. It just makes sense to my brain to leave Halloween in October and move into Thanksgiving and Christmas in November. So that's the way we're going to do it. Geez, I'm so sassy today. I don't know. It's great. It's fun. I'm excited to do all this fun stitching and excited to see what everybody else is stitching. I know a lot of October plans videos have been coming out, and so it's really fun to... There are so many fun Halloween stitches out there. They're just cute and colorful and fun, and I love them. It's such fun stitching. This whole last quarter of the year is the best quarter of the year. I don't think I'm alone in feeling that way. Thank heavens. It's been a long year. We need some joy. So I hope you find joy in your October stitching, whatever it may be, even if you don't do spooky stitching. I hope whatever you're working on is bringing you joy and that you're getting lots of time for it. I hope your weather isn't brutalizing you one way or another. Ours is fairly mild, which I'm so grateful for. I mean, I'm in a sweatshirt. I am wearing shorts, but I'm still in a sweatshirt, which feels very cozy, and I'm good. I'm here for that. I was made for this time of year. I was not made for summer. Anyways, so yes, have a wonderful October, and I will be back in a few weeks to show you what I've been working on. Okay, happy stitching, my friends. Take care.